Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekakwadash. I want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I learned this truth from. I want to say peace, mercy, and blessings unto all of the hopeful elect. The true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means He exists or He is to be. The true name of the Son is Yahushai, which means He is the deliverer. We are the Hebrew Israelites. All right, there's 12 tribes of the Hebrews. Today we're being so-called Black, Native American, Latin, Hispanics, which are bywords and proverbs, according to the Bible. Curses to mock us and to conceal our true identity, and to cut us off. All right, now the self-proclaimed white man, he's not white, he's red. Their biblical nationality is Esau, Edom, Idumea. And according to Bible prophecy, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. All right? And as you can see, it's an article from End Time Headlines. Texas flooding kills more than 100 as search continues for dozens. Okay, so there's many great miseries that are going to come upon the land. All right? And something that's interesting to point out. Actually, I might go to the chat for that. But something interesting to point out, as part of the big, beautiful bill, there will be no more FEMA. Normally in this situation, they would send out FEMA to come help. But now everything is up to the state. So in a situation like this, if you down there and you have Hashem Yahushai with you pretty much screwed because you ain't getting no help. Texas flooding kills more than 100 as search continues for dozens. Central Texas is reeling from catastrophic flash flooding that began on July 4th, 2025, claiming over 100 lives and leaving communities grappling with unprecedented destruction. The floods triggered by torrential rainfall have overwhelmed the Guadalupe River, leading to one of the deadliest flood events in recent U.S. history. As research and rescue options continue, additional rainfall threatens to exacerbate the crisis, with the National Weather Service issuing multiple flash flood warnings for the region through July 7th. The flooding, described as a deadly flood wave, has caused widespread devastation, particularly in Kerr County, where at least 84 fatalities have been reported, including 28 children. That's miseries, man. Right? It's the second at just 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And all that's in the world is the pride of life and the lust of the eyes. It tells you that, I believe it's 1 John. All right, that's why the Lord said, love not the world and neither the things that are in it. Because it's nothing but bullshit down here. People are proud of the car they drive, the clothes they have, the house they live in, their children, the school they go to, the job. It's all the pride of life. Yahweh Shem Yoshai is stripping that shit away from people, even to the loss of children. And that's one of the great miseries out here. For you don't lose your house, your home, your car, your job, your children, and your own life, man. All right? So I'm going to play this video.
River is flooded. Happy Saturday, y'all. Oh my God. It is flooded out here in Central Texas. We just got a notice that we need to evacuate my apartment. Now, those of y'all that follow me, y'all know that I come out here on my patio often and I show you where the deer and stuff are down there. He making rounds. But this is a river. We live in between two rivers, and this river is flooded. That is high. Like normally, I want to say that this is probably a good 12 feet above ground or more. Thankfully, we up here on the second floor, but the rain is continuing to come. It's supposed to rain all day, and it's getting pretty crazy. We are getting flooded out. I'm talking about seriously. It is bad. that. The flooding is flooding, and it ain't nothing to play with.
So you mean to tell me this exact flood hit the same river about 30 years?
This very well may be the worst flood Hunt has ever seen. The devastation is unbelievable. How these kids survived in any of these camps along the river is nothing short of a miracle. But I did. I grew up with this store.
At least 82 people are now dead in the catastrophic flooding across the state. Many dozens more still missing or unaccounted for right now. Crews are out right now searching for survivors, with more rain in the forecast in the coming days. President Donald Trump, meanwhile, signing a major disaster declaration today for hard-hit Kerr County, where most of the people died. It frees up federal resources to help with the search and recovery efforts.
More than 400 first responders from 20 different agencies are helping in the rescue efforts, carrying out more than 1,000 rescues since Friday, in some cases using helicopters to reach people clinging to trees. From the sky, you can see the scope of the devastation.
Right, that's enough of that. But this is Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Should there be evil in a city, and Yahweh Shem Yahushua had not done it? So that flooding that came and took the life, all right, of over 100, okay, which, they don't know the real, well, they're not going to tell us the true body count because they always fabricate, and deceive with the numbers. It's part of their deception, But, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is bringing misery and evil to these cities. But that's all part of the Most High's judgment. I believe that's in Zeph. This is Zephaniah 3 verse 5. The just Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. So let's check something else out, right? Okay, so I asked Chet, how does the big beautiful bill, right, affects towns destroyed by natural disasters? Here is how Trump's one big beautiful bill affects towns devastated by natural disasters. Cuts to FEMA and disaster preparedness. The bill slashes FEMA funding, including $646 million from FEMA's programs for violence, T-word, and emergency response. It includes proposed phasing out FEMA entirely, shifting disaster response duties to state governments. Grants for National Weather Service and NOAA have been reduced by $150 million, and forecasting and $50 million for climate research, weakening early warning systems. Immediate impact on disaster-stricken communities. After July 4th floodings in Texas, Trump did declare federal disaster enabling FEMA deployment, but only as an exception, not reflecting the bill's overall trajectory. Without baseline federal aid, towns will struggle to access resources like shelter, debris removal, and infrastructure repair. FEMA's typical support under the Stafford Act, 75 to 100% funding for housing and cleanup, will be significantly weakened. Consequences without FEMA support: eviction risk rises. Research shows FEMA assistance post-disaster reduces evictions by up to 36%. Without it, towns may see a 16% spike overall. Longer recovery times. FEMA shelters, infrastructure funding, technical exports, all vital for rebuilding, will be stretched thinner or unavailable. State burden increases. Many smaller or less resourced states lack the budgets, expertise, and multiple aid networks to fill the gap. Real-world example, Texas floods. Despite the budget cuts, FEMA was activated in Kerr County, but local officials flagged years of unmet flood warning grants since 2018, worsened by grant freezes. Cuts to weather forecasting hamper timely alerts, contributing to the tragedy. Right? Says while the bill's backers stress tax relief and smaller government, towns hit by floods, wildfires, tornadoes, etc., will lose critical federal lifelines, harming recovery, resilience, and overall readiness. Right? So I put, could this be a clever way to rebuild destroyed towns as smart cities? Right? Absolutely. Yes, it could be seen that way, but it depends who's doing the rebuilding, who benefits. Well, we know that that's Esau. It's only going to benefit Esau and the elites of Esau, right? The smart city angle, strategic or suspicious. If FEMA is cut or phased out and states or private companies are left to respond, that creates a power vacuum. In that vacuum, you can see potential strategic opportunity. Destroyed towns become blank states. Governments or corporations may step in with a smart city redevelopment plan, AI surveillance, IoT infrastructure, green energy grids, 15-minute city models, right? Which we know that's the plan for the future. You can watch that movie Demolition Man. That's pretty much what they were. And then you had people living under the ground, eating rat burgers, etc. Okay? So these are the things that are coming. You can expect an uptick in so-called natural disasters, storms, things that, but it's all being done by Yahweh Shem Shai, right? This is the book of Nahum, chapter 1 and verse, all right, Nahum 1 and verse, I'll just start at 1. The burden of Nineveh, the modern day Nineveh is America, Babylon the Great. The book of the vision of Nahum, the Elkoshite. The Most High power is jealous, and Yahweh Shem Shai revenge it. Yahweh Shem Shai revenge it and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserved wrath for his enemies. That's Esau. And 2/3 of our own people are going to get caught up in that wrath because they have joined themselves with Esau. All right? And they will join themselves with Esau when they take the Haragma, the MOTB, the mark of the beast. 3. Yahweh Shem Shai is slow to anger and great in power and would not at all acquit the wicked. Yahweh Shem Shai hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebuketh the sea and maketh it dry. He dried up the rivers. Bashan languished, and Carmel and the flower of Lebanon languished. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence, yea, in the world and them that dwell therein. So the Most High is responsible. Whether he's using Esau, he's using his heart program, or what, the Most High is controlling him on the left-hand side. It all goes back to Yahweh Shem Shai. It says, Scripture says, all things obey his will. Verse 6, who can stand before his indignation, and who can abide in his fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. That's right. The name, Yahweh Shem Shai, all right? It's a strong tower. The righteous running into it, and it's safe, all right? So if there were any elect down there, you know, and you know, they called upon the name, the Most High took care of them. They're good, okay? And he knoweth them that trust in him. This all goes back to trusting into Yahweh Shem Shai, because we know we're in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble, the birth and pains, and shit is going to get more and more crazy out here. Things are going to continue to escalate. Okay, you're going to see more and more miseries. Okay, but through it all, you know, our redemption draw nigh. This is the book of Luke 21 and 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So we see the earthquakes, wars, rumors of wars, storms and natural disasters, you know, hopeful members of the elect waking up, judgments being put on Esau. Lift up your head. You know, miseries coming upon these people. Lift up your head and praise Yahweh Shem Shai, because now it's high time to wake out of sleep. The Lord is coming as a thief in the night. No man knows the day or the hour. But all these signs are beautiful, and they point to the second coming, you know. So with that, I just want to do a quick video on the lunch break. I pray this has been informative and edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Shem Shai. I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect.